I want to show you guys the way that this guy had been acting and the reasons why Vladimir Putin said, no, give me more.
I would like to thank President Putin and his entire team, whose faces, who I know in many cases, otherwise, other than that, whose faces I get to see all the time in the newspapers. You're almost as famous as the boss.
Wait, what was that? Wait, what? I've seen all you Russian journalists. I've seen your newspapers. I've seen you guys so much, man. We hang out all the time. Matter of fact, the amount of times that I talk to you guys might be as famous because all he cares about is fame because he's a crazy person. You might be as famous as the boss. You know, my boss, Vladimir Putin. He has these slips of the tongues, and actually, on top of that, Vladimir Putin in that same post-disastrous meeting, not press conference, but comment section, he also dragged him around a little bit more too.
Again, Mr. President, I'd like to thank you very much, and we'll speak to you very soon and probably see you again very soon. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time in Moscow.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I'll get a little heat on that one, but I could see it possibly happening. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time I tug your chain, I'm not going to take any flights over to Alaska. You bring your ass to Moscow. And he said, oh. Sorry, I mean, this is serious stuff, but the guy's a cartoon character. I bet if the mic was a little lower near his throat, you might have a gulp that happened right when he said that. Oh, that might get me in some trouble. The fact that I just called you a boss as well, maybe that'll get me some trouble. You're already in trouble, bro. You don't know what you're doing. You're destroying the economy. You're literally unleashing American soldiers on the soil in U.S. cities. And he's too stupid to realize that's self-sabotage. And he thinks Vladimir Putin is his buddy. That's my friend. He's who I love. That's why they rolled out the red carpet. And I'm not saying that just figuratively. They rolled out the red carpet.
But compare that to what this administration has done, which has relieved almost all pressure. Like, look at what happened on Friday. U.S. military personnel in uniform literally were on their hands and knees rolling out a red carpet for the most murderous dictator of the 21st century. Somebody who is kidnapped and is holding prisoner tens of thousands of Ukrainian children. Somebody who started this whole war, right? This both sidesism that the administration is engaging in, that both sides need to come to the table and negotiate. Ukraine is the victim. They are the victim. They didn't start this war, Russia did. And somehow we keep on acting like Vladimir Putin deserves to be brought out into the open like any other head of state. Yeah. This is a historic embarrassment and defeat for U.S. foreign policy.
He talked about military personnel that were out there on their hands, and he's doing it. Let me show you guys that as we're talking about it. Because this is the aspect that I was talking about a few minutes ago. You know, and many times, I don't care. I don't care about images and, oh, he had the flyover, so it was a show of strength. I mean, maybe this is something to do with military folks. I'm not a military guy. And how it looks and how you show certain kinds of strength when you're on the world stage, when you're dealing with adversaries versus allies. Now, again, I generally don't care about imagery, but these folks always talk about imagery. They're always talking about American might and strength. We've got an eagle. We've got the best fighter jets in the world. Look at our tanks. I'm like, I don't care. What are you doing? Because it's always a show. And if it's a show of strength instead of actual approaches to the way we do international, in this case, supposed to be some kind of a peace deal, then I'm looking for results, not shows. But since they're concerned about showing of strength, there's this guy that they invited that all across the world sees him as an international war criminal, kidnaps and kills people indiscriminately, continues to drop bombs in Ukraine as they break discussions of ceasefire deals. And you roll out the red carpet. It's a show. That doesn't actually do something, but it shows something. And it's embarrassing for people like Donald Trump, who all he cares about is the show. When is he going to come out with a Truth Social post about how demeaning that was? And little Vladimir Putin's going to pay. All that stuff that he likes to say about people that he hates. Why hasn't he had any fire? You guys want to know what country didn't fall under all of these tariffs that he slapped on the entire world? I'll give you like 3 seconds to guess. Actions are connected to his words and his shows of what he thinks are strength. And what he thinks is strength is the same thing that your 7-year-old kid that's a bully on the playground thinks is strength. Name calling. But apparently, somebody walked in that room and gave him something else besides some names. Here's some more imagery. This was posted by RT. Apparently, RT posted it. I've seen it in multiple places. So, I mean, I didn't independently go find that. So, I'm trusting what multiple people have been saying. And I saw the watermark for RT on that. But that was apparently, and again, I'm not a military guy, apparently, an American tank rolling through parts of Ukraine that they've occupied or invaded or apparently fighting in, and has 2 flags flying on top of it. One's a Russian flag, makes sense. Another, an American flag. I generally don't think that when tanks are in the middle of battles that they're flying American flags if it's not their country or any flags whatsoever. I mean, again, I'm not a military person. You guys may have to fill me in, you tank operators out there. But this is just a video to show for people like me and other Americans to see and go, what the hell is this? Because we're all about showing strength, illustrations of strength. And they say that if this is, some American military tank, that it was apparently, damaged or found there, who knows? I don't know the details behind it. But the one thing that they're looking to do, which was oddly in those intelligence reports that Donald Trump says are bullshit because his American intelligence people said so, was they're looking to sow distrust, division, and chaos, specifically within our election systems, which they're doing a pretty good job of, but also in this kind of discourse, because we're kind of surface level showing instead of actually doing. I'm gonna say it one more time. I don't care about shows of strength. I care about the basics and the actions behind it. But since we're concerned about it, this has been a pretty bad showing on top of it. So there's no wins here. This is the former U.S. ambassador to Russia. His name is Michael McFaul.
And I think people have to understand that Putin doesn't look at all of this stuff as a sign of strength. He looks at it as a sign of weakness. He had to do absolutely nothing to get this meeting. He didn't have to agree to anything. There are no preconditions. There's no negotiation ahead of time. That's usually how summits work, right? Usually, low-level, mid-level people like myself at the National Security Council negotiate agreements, and then you bring in the presidents to close the deal. Nothing's been agreed to here. And so Putin has gained everything and given nothing in return.
Results versus showings. It shows that he gave nothing and is getting anything he wants. That's the result.